Let's talk about this week's episode of The Traitors.
Hi, everybody. Hey, this is me coming back for my weekly review of The Traitors US, right? Okay, a lot to unpack this week. Who's not happy that Colton is gone? He should have been gone. Bye, Colton. Yeah, our girl Candace is gone. It's a lot of controversy behind how Rob is playing his game. And I shouldn't have to give my credentials every time I speak about the traitors, but I have to. I'm someone who's watched so many episodes of the traitors. I've lost count, guys. I'm going to say in the high 200 to 300 episodes of the traitors, and I am not exaggerating. I've watched so many episodes of the traitors. I pretty much know the shows like the back of my hand. So when Candace says that he is a snake, she labeled him perfectly. Ladies and gentlemen, let me just be clear. There is a difference between being a snake and a traitor. There is a difference. A snake is not a traitor. Let me announce this for the people in the back. A traitor and a snake is not the same thing. And we're talking about the show. As a traitor, you are giving a role within the game to be a schemer, to be a liar, to plot to get the faithful out. You are to work with your fellow traitors to get the faithful out because you want to be what? At the end to collect the money. A snake will do any and everything to any and everyone in the game. Cut people off wherever they need to cut them, whomever they need to cut. Play by no rules. Will cut their fellow traitors off at the beginning, middle, or any way of the game because they're only playing for themselves. They will use people at their expense, and when they're gone, they'll just find somebody else to use. And usually people that play recklessly like that, they don't win. They do not win. The second is Rob. That is Rob. Rob is playing as a snake. He is not a traitor. He's in the role of a traitor, but he's playing as a snake. And each and every person that has played the role of a snake has never lived to tell at the end of the game. They always lose because they get cocky. They feel like they knocking them down, not realizing that other people are in this game and they see how you playing and they realize, maybe there is some truth behind what Candace was saying about Rob. Maybe there is some truth about Colton being Rob's beard. All of it was true. Crumbs was just left. All kind of crumbs. And if they don't pick them up and take those crumbs for what they are, it's on them. She left them so much information that there's no way that they can't say they didn't know that Rob was a traitor. And I guarantee you, at the end of this show, when someone doesn't guess that Rob is a traitor, they're going to say, I had no idea. And if I hear somebody say at the end of the show, Candace was right, I'm going to scream. Because everything is in their face. Everything. Nobody's right about everything. There's no way Colton would have known who all the traitors was unless he was dealing with another traitor. Rob was utilizing Colton as his mouthpiece to get the traitors out. And then at the table, Rob would go in with Colton and vote with Colton to get the person that he already wanted out. It's laid all out there, okay? It's laid all out there. He started with Tiffany, and I know y'all gonna say Tiffany was not a traitor. Tiffany was a strong person in the game that would give Colton a run for his money. So that's why he got rid of Tiffany, right? Tiffany had to go. Michael was getting on everybody's nerves. I like Michael, but he was getting on everybody's nerves. So Michael had to go. The next thing, he started playing around, playing in Lisa's face. He started putting that out there. Little clues like that. Little, Lisa doesn't act like she act when she was on The Real Housewives. Is that how Lisa normally act? Just putting it out there. Putting it in people's ears to start looking at Lisa. When he already knew that Lisa was a traitor. He already knew that. And any time that Colton had pulled out somebody who was a traitor, Rob never tried to defend them. He went right along with Colton. And that is not a true traitor. A traitor doesn't do that. So what happened was Colton had led the way, so Rob won't be on Front Street, and Colton would just support, and Rob would just support Colton because he's the one who put Colton up to it. It's only so long that Colton would live. So he got banished. And that brings us up to where we are, where Candace left all the crumbs and all that. The mistake that Rob made is bringing in Eric. If Eric accepts, which I'm certain that he will, if Eric accepts, that is going to be the downfall of Rob. Because Rob is betting on the times that Eric has been wrong with the music thing, and that he has the double vote. And the problem with that is, because he has the double vote, and he picked Eric to be his flunky, if he gets Eric out just like that, he is going to be the next one out. Because there's nobody that good. Let me just tell y'all, nobody knows all the traitors unless they are a traitor themselves. There's no way that Colton would have known that Lisa and Candace was a traitor unless he was dealing with somebody who was feeding him that information. Period. He was not that smart, and Rob is not that smart. Rob is a snake. He is somebody who has the benefit of knowing everything that's going on the show because he's a traitor, but he is not somebody that any of them should be trusting, because all of them are just like, who's the next one that I'm going to get rid of? Anybody that gets in his way. He got this poor little guy that needs his hearing tested. And I'm not trying to be rude or anything like that, but he said he heard a laugh. And the laugh definitely wasn't Tiffany's, because Tiffany was not a traitor. The laugh was Candace, and period. I mean, he's just been wrong. So that's why I mentioned the hearing. Okay, so we're going to watch this play out. But if I'm not mistaken, Rob is going to be on the chopping block, guys. It's a few people that love Rob, but they liking Rob for the wrong reason. They liking him because he is appealing to the eye. Just like the girl said, oh, not that sweet, nice guy. That's the ones that are normally traitors, idiot. Somebody said that on the episode last night. I was like, you have got to be kidding me. Do you really think a traitor would be an obvious traitor? He would be the perfect traitor. The one that you wouldn't think there would be one. That's the reason why I don't like these reality stars to do any of this stuff, because they're not good at it, and they're just out here practicing for their next role. That's the reason. That's another reason why I don't like them, because they're in the spotlight to try to get on somewhere else. Period. They're irritating. They are just doing stuff just don't make no sense. I still don't understand why Yum Yum was even on the show. He was the most irritating person ever. I mean, it's a whole lot. It's a whole lot. But no, your guy is not going to win. So, yeah, y'all can take that to the bank. Take it to the bank. He will be out. Peace and blessings. Bye.
Current mood, hiding from a blizzard and hunting traitors from my couch. Who else is screaming at the TV right now?
See ya next week.